So even as we're relentless, we have to be smart, targeting ISIL surgically, with precision. At the same time, our partners on the ground are rooting ISIL out, town by town. Neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block. That is what this campaign is doing. We are hitting ISIL harder than ever. Coalition aircraft are fighters. Bombers and drones have been increasing the pace of airstrikes, nearly 9,000 as of today. Last month, in November, we dropped more bombs on ISIL targets than any other month since this campaign started. We're also taking out ISIL leaders, commanders, and killers, one by one. Since this spring, we've removed Abu Sayyaf, one of their top leaders, Haji Mu'taz. ISIL's second in command, Junaid Hussain, a top online recruiter. Mohammadine Wazi, who brutally murdered Americans and others, and in recent weeks, finance chief Abu Saleh. Senior extortionist Abu Maryam, and weapons trafficker Abu Rahman al-Tunisi. The list goes on. We're going after ISIL from their stronghold right in downtown Raqqa. To Libya, where we took out Abu Nabil, the ISIL leader there. The point is, ISIL leaders cannot hide. And our next message to them is simple: you are next. Every day, we destroy as well more of ISIL's forces, their fighting positions. Bunkers and staging areas, their heavy weapons, bomb-making factories, compounds, and training camps. In many places, ISIL has lost its freedom of maneuver. Because they know if they mass their forces, we will wipe them out. In fact, since the summer, ISIL has not had a single successful major offensive operation on the ground in either Syria or Iraq. In recent weeks, we've unleashed a new wave of strikes on their lifeline. Their oil infrastructure, destroying hundreds of their tanker trucks, wells, and refineries. And we're going to keep on hammering those. ISIL also continues to lose territory in Iraq. ISIL had already lost across Kirkuk province and at Tikrit. More recently, ISIL lost at Sinjar, losing a strategic highway. ISIL lost at Beji, with its oil refinery. We saw the daring raid supported by our special forces, which rescued dozens of prisoners from ISIL. And in which Master Sergeant Joshua Wheeler made the ultimate sacrifice. So far, ISIL has lost about 40% of the populated areas it once controlled in Iraq. And it will lose more. Iraqi forces are now fighting their way deeper into Ramadi. They're working to encircle Fallujah and cut off ISIL supply routes into Mosul. Again, these are urban areas where ISIL is entrenched. Our partners on the ground face a very tough fight ahead. And we're going to continue to back them up with the support that they need to ultimately clear ISIL from Iraq. ISIL also continues to lose territory in Syria. We continue to step up our air support and supplies to local forces Syrian Kurds. Arabs, Christians, Turkmen, and they're having success. After routing ISIL at Kobani and Tal Abyad, they pushed ISIL back from almost across the entire border region with Turkey. And we're working with Turkey to seal the rest. ISIL has lost. Thousands of square miles of territory it once controlled in Syria, and it will lose more. The special forces that I ordered to Syria have begun supporting local forces as they push south. Cut off supply lines and tighten the squeeze on Raqqa. Meanwhile, more people are seeing ISIL for the thugs and the thieves and the killers that they are. We've seen instances of ISIL fighters defecting. Others who've tried to escape have been executed. And ISIL's reign of brutality and extortion continues too. Repel local populations and help fuel the refugee crisis. So many people are migrating, said one Syrian refugee. ISIL, she said, will end up all alone. All this said, we recognize that progress needs to keep coming faster. No one knows that more than the countless Syrians and Iraqis living every day under ISIL's terror. As well as the families in San Bernardino and Paris and elsewhere who are grieving the loss of their loved ones. Just as the United States is doing more in this fight, just as our allies France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, Australia, and Italy are doing more, so must others. And that's why I've asked Secretary Carter to go to the Middle East. He'll depart right after this press. Briefing to work with our coalition partners on securing more military contributions to this fight. On the diplomatic front, Secretary Kerry will be in Russia tomorrow as we continue to work. As part of the Vienna process, to end the Syrian civil war. Meanwhile, here at home, the Department of Homeland Security is updating. Its alert system to help the American people stay vigilant and safe. And as always, our extraordinary men and women in uniform continue to put their lives on the line in this campaign and around the world to keep the rest of us safe. This holiday season, many of our troops are once again far from their families. And as your Commander-in-Chief, on behalf of the American people, we want to say thank you. We are grateful, and we are proud for everything that you do. Because of you, the America that we know and love and cherish is leading the world in this fight. Because of you, I am confident that we are going to prevail. Thank you very much, everybody. Barack Obama. On countering violent religious extremism. Delivered February 18, 2015, White House, Washington, D. C. Well, thank you, Lisa, for the introduction. Lisa is an example of the countless dedicated public servants across our government. A number of who are here today, who are working tirelessly every single day on behalf of the security and safety of the American people. So we very much appreciate her. And thanks to all of you for your attendance and participation in this important summit. For more than 238 years, the United States of America has not just endured. But we have thrived and surmounted challenges that might have broken a lesser nation. After a terrible civil war, we repaired our union. We weathered a Great Depression, became the world's most dynamic economy. We fought fascism. Liberated Europe. We faced down communism and won. American communities have been destroyed by earthquakes and tornadoes and fires and floods, and each time we rebuild. The bombing that killed 168 people could not break Oklahoma City. On September 11, terrorists tried to bring us to our knees. Today a new tower soars above New York City. And America continues to lead throughout the world. After Americans were killed at Fort Hood and the Boston Marathon. It didn't divide us, we came together as one American family. In the face of horrific acts of violence at a Sikh temple near Milwaukee. Or at a Jewish community center outside Kansas City, we reaffirmed our commitment to pluralism and to freedom. Repulsed by the notion that anyone should ever be targeted because of who they are, or what they look like, or how they worship. Most recently, with the brutal murders in Chapel Hill of 3 young Muslim Americans. Many Muslim Americans are worried and afraid. And I want to be as clear as I can be, as Americans, all faiths and backgrounds. We stand with you in your grief, and we offer our love and we offer our support. My point is this: as Americans, we are strong and we are resilient. And when tragedy strikes, when we take a hit, we pull together, and we draw on what's best in our character, our optimism. Our commitment to each other, our commitment to our values, our respect for one another. We stand up, and we rebuild, and we recover, and we emerge stronger than before. That's who we are. And I say all this because we face genuine challenges to our security today. Just as we have throughout our history. Challenges to our security are not new. They didn't happen yesterday or a week ago or a year ago. We've always faced challenges. One of those challenges is the terrorist threat from groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIL. But this isn't our challenge alone. It's a challenge for the world. ISIL is terrorizing the people of Syria and Iraq. Beheads and burns human beings in unfathomable acts of cruelty. We've seen deadly attacks in Ottawa and Sydney and Paris, and now Copenhagen. So, in the face of this challenge, we have marshaled the full force of the United States government. And we're working with allies and partners to dismantle terrorist organizations and protect the American people. Given the complexities of the challenge and the nature of the enemy, which is not a traditional army, this work takes time. And will require vigilance and resilience and perspective. But I'm confident that, just as we have for more than 2 centuries, we will ultimately prevail.